Welcome to our channel, the fastest, most complete and most dramatic update of shocking details in TV dramas that make the audience unable to take their eyes off. Today, we will take you into a story full of pain, betrayal and anger, where every relationship can be broken in just a moment and the dark past that seemed to have receded suddenly returns to destroy the present. Follow and immerse yourself in the journey of Kat. A woman who is pushed to the limit when witnessing the two people she once trusted the most betray her in an unimaginable way. At first, it was just a peaceful afternoon, when Kat and Chelsea stopped by the guest house to leave a small gift. Everything seemed simple and gentle, a polite act that did not need to be announced. The two of them walked in, carrying a comfortable mood, not having the slightest idea that they were about to enter a nightmare that could turn upside down everything Kat had ever known, ever believed in, ever loved. There was no answer when they knocked on the door, only the quiet space, the faint sound of the wind pushing the door open. And then, at the moment their footsteps touched the threshold, the cruel truth appeared before their eyes. Kat was stunned when she witnessed Dani, the woman Kat had once considered her best friend, her companion. The person she had trusted to share all her deepest secrets with, hugging and kissing another man. It was Graham, Kat's ex-husband, the man who had abandoned her without a clear explanation. The man who had completely destroyed her belief in love. Her whole body froze like stone. She couldn't breathe. Her heart felt like someone was squeezing it with every beat. The sight was like a knife stabbing straight into her chest, not just one, but countless stabs, painful and brutal. Graham, the man Kat had spent her entire youth loving, sacrificing, believing that he could change, was here, with someone else, not a stranger. But Dani, a familiar name, a familiar face, someone who seemed to always be on her side. Kat's whole world collapsed in an instant. She felt like her chest was about to burst, her mind was spinning, her limbs were numb, but her anger was burning. All emotional boundaries were broken. In that moment, Kat was no longer herself. She didn't scream, she didn't cry, but her eyes contained extreme pain, mixed with resentment. Everything Graham had done, said, promised, all of it had now become cheap lies. And Dani, who had held her when she cried for Graham, who had said she would never forgive anyone who hurt Kat, was the one who was secretly with him. Chelsea stood there, stunned, speechless. She could feel the wave of emotions raging from Kat, the suffocating tension in the air. She wanted to stop Kat, to drag her friend away from this place before things got out of hand, but it was too late. Kat was driven by a rage that was constantly rising. She no longer understood what she was doing. All that remained was the pain and betrayal that burned her mind. Kat's steps toward them were heavy as lead, but filled with strength. She stepped forward to face the past and the lies head-on. There were no words, because words were now meaningless. What Kat saw said it all. No one could justify it, no one could cover it up, and no one could ease the pain. Graham stood there, showing no remorse, just coldly staring at her with an emotionless gaze, as if Kat's presence did not matter. As for Dani, she was confused, but not remorseful. There was a little fear in her eyes. But more than that, defiance. Kat's madness exploded. In an instant, all the painful images of the past came rushing back at once, the night Kat first discovered Graham's affair. The morning she received the divorce papers with his cold signature. The days she lay flat on her bed with her eyes swollen from crying, the dark months when she tried to pick herself up, trying to rebuild her life without Graham. And now, after all, he was back, not to apologize, not to repent, but to continue stabbing her heart again. Kat laughed, but she didn't run away. She left with a broken heart, but something was building inside her, a rage deeper than anything she had ever felt. No one could hurt her like that without paying the price. She wouldn't let it go. In the days that followed, Kat completely withdrew from social contact. She didn't go online, she didn't answer the phone, she didn't see anyone. In the darkness of her isolation, she nurtured her anger. She began to investigate, to find out everything that Dani and Graham had hidden. Each new discovery was an arrow that hit her heart, but at the same time, it was also a source of energy for her to prepare a plan for revenge. Not simply to confront, but to destroy, to end the deception that almost made her lose herself. Kat returned. No longer the weak, miserable woman of the past. She was stronger, more determined, and more dangerous than ever. She did not act impulsively. She calculated every step, every word, every gesture. Graham and Dani had no idea that the storm that was about to hit was Kat, the person they had despised, had betrayed. But now, Kat no longer wanted to hold on, no longer wanted to reconcile. She only wanted justice. She wanted them to feel the pain she had experienced, every second, every minute. Kat's silence in the days after that shock was not weakness or despair. It was a time for her to restructure everything in her mind, a moment of transformation from a victim to a proactive person to reclaim justice for herself. She was no longer the woman who shed tears for the betrayer. Now, she was a colder, more rational, and sharper person than ever. With each passing hour, she became more determined to make Dani and Graham pay dearly for the dirty betrayal they had caused. Kat began by digging deeper into their current lives. She secretly followed Dani. Discovered that she was not only seeing Graham, but also secretly making shady transactions related to work. The unclear money transfers, the unclear relationships with people in the industry, all were meticulously recorded by Kat. She left no stone unturned, knowing that to defeat someone like Dani, she needed more than an affair. She needed evidence, she needed precision, she needed a perfect plan. As for Graham, Kat did not hesitate to get involved in his dark past. She hired a private investigator to investigate his old debts, the times he abandoned failed business projects, and even the personal relationships that had been damaged by his selfishness and lies. Kat brought out everything Graham had ever wanted to hide, but she did not make it public right away. She held back, waited for the right moment, waited for the cruelest moment. When both were at the height of their illusions of happiness, to deliver the fatal blow. Kat did not want to stop at just hurting feelings. She wanted to completely destroy the image that Dani and Graham had tried to build. She infiltrated their social relationships, silently sowing doubts, making people around them start to look at them differently. She dropped half-true, half-false information to the right place, right person, right time. Gradually, Dani lost trust in her work. Graham began to feel the pressure from the unfounded gossip. And then, Kat launched the decisive blow. She sent evidence of her affair. Documents related to Dani's wrongdoings to her superiors in the company, to the people Dani had tried every way to please. At the same time, Kat organized a charity fundraiser under an extremely noble name, inviting many famous people in the business and media world to attend. Little did people know that it was a trap. The party was elaborately staged, and while Dani and Graham appeared in a polished manner, thinking they were being praised, Kat played a short video recording the moment of betrayal, Dani hugging and kissing Graham right in the guest house. The atmosphere at the party was frozen. All the guests were stunned. Some quickly turned away, others quietly left. Dani stood there, her face pale, and Graham was speechless. The gazes that had once admired them now turned to contempt and judgment. Dani's career almost collapsed in an instant. Business partners canceled contracts, friends turned their backs, relatives shunned her. As for Graham, the dirty secrets Kat had discovered were sent to his workplace, the bank, and the people who had invested in his project. Kat did not smile, did not gloat. She just stood from afar, silently observing the ashes of the two people who betrayed her. She didn't need to say a word, because her actions said it all. Betraying Kat was the biggest mistake of their lives. And this time, they wouldn't have a chance to fix it. After everything, Kat never went back to the old person. She changed completely. She lived stronger, more resilient, and wiser. She continued on her own path, focusing on her career and rebuilding new relationships, this time with sobriety and clear boundaries. Chelsea was still by her side, the only person who had never betrayed her, and also the only person who understood what Kat had to overcome to get to this day. Kat understands that life is not always fair, but she also knows that when women are pushed to their limits, they can become an unstoppable force. She was once a victim, but refused to stay there. She stood up, reclaiming justice with her intelligence, her courage, and the pain she endured. Kat's story is a profound warning to those who underestimate the value of trust. Because when trust is betrayed, it does not disappear, it turns into fire. And that fire, once ignited, can burn everything. Kat's journey is not over yet, and most likely, she will have to face new challenges, new enemies, and other secrets that are about to be revealed. Her life has turned a new page, full of harsh choices, but also where she is in control of everything. Stay tuned with us so you don't miss any shocking twists in the next episodes. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to our channel to stay updated with more dramatic, breathtaking, and unstoppable stories in the next episodes. We will always bring you the most unique and engaging content.